How to avoid lifestyle inflation. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a financial issue that affects many people, especially as their income increases over time. It's called lifestyle inflation, and if you're not careful, it can quietly prevent you from building wealth even when you're earning more money than before. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending increases as your income goes up. Many people assume that earning more money will automatically improve their financial situation. But in reality, if your expenses rise at the same rate as your income, or even faster, you may end up in the same financial position. Or sometimes even worse, despite making more money. In today's video, I'm going to explain what lifestyle inflation is, why it happens, and how to recognize it in your own life. We'll also go through practical strategies to avoid falling into this trap, along with real-life examples and common mistakes to watch out for. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to manage your money as your income grows so that you can actually build wealth instead of just increasing your spending. So if you want to make sure that earning more money actually improves your financial future, let's get started. First, let's define what lifestyle inflation really means. Lifestyle inflation, sometimes called lifestyle creep, occurs when your standard of living increases along with your income. This can happen gradually and often without you even noticing it at first. You might start buying slightly more expensive groceries, upgrading your phone more frequently, eating out more often, or moving into a nicer apartment. Individually, these changes might seem small, but over time they can significantly increase your monthly expenses. The problem with lifestyle inflation is that it can prevent you from making real financial progress. Many people work hard to increase their income through promotions, job changes, or side hustles, only to find that their savings rate stays the same or even decreases because their spending has gone up. In the end, they have a higher income but not necessarily a better financial situation. One of the reasons lifestyle inflation is so common is that it often happens gradually. It's not usually the result of one big decision to spend more. Instead, it's the accumulation of many small decisions over time. You might upgrade your car when you get a raise, then start shopping at slightly more expensive stores, then begin taking more trips or buying higher quality clothes. Each individual change feels reasonable, but together they can completely absorb any increase in income. Another reason lifestyle inflation happens is social pressure and comparison. We live in a world where it's easy to compare ourselves to others, especially through social media. When you see friends or colleagues buying new things, traveling, or living in nice homes, it can create a feeling that you should be doing the same. This pressure can lead people to spend money they don't really have in order to keep up with a certain lifestyle, even if it's not aligned with their actual financial goals. Lifestyle inflation can also be driven by the desire to reward yourself for working hard. Many people feel that after putting in long hours or achieving a promotion, they deserve to enjoy their money. While there's nothing wrong with treating yourself occasionally, the problem arises when these rewards become regular habits that permanently increase your baseline expenses. Now let's talk about some signs that you might be experiencing lifestyle inflation. One common sign is that even though your income has increased, you don't feel like you have more money left over at the end of the month. You might be earning significantly more than you did a few years ago, but your savings rate hasn't improved, or you still feel financially stressed. Another sign is that your expenses have increased across multiple categories. Maybe you're spending more on housing, transportation, food, and entertainment than you used to. When almost every area of your spending has gone up, it's often a sign that your lifestyle has expanded along with your income. You might also notice that you're buying higher quality or more expensive versions of things you used to buy more cheaply. For example, you might have switched from regular coffee to specialty coffee, or from shopping at regular stores to more expensive brands. These upgrades can feel like natural progress, but they can also quietly increase your cost of living. Another indicator is that you feel like you need things that you didn't used to consider necessary. This could include needing a newer car, needing to live in a certain neighborhood, or needing to have the latest technology. When your definition of needs expands over time, it's often a sign of lifestyle inflation. Now let's discuss some practical strategies to avoid or reduce lifestyle inflation. The first and most important strategy is to increase your savings rate whenever your income goes up. Instead of letting your spending expand to match your new income, try to direct a significant portion of any raise or additional income towards savings, investments, or debt repayment. For example, if you receive a raise, you could commit to saving or investing at least 50% of that increase rather than spending all of it. Another effective approach is to wait before upgrading your lifestyle. When you get a raise or bonus, resist the urge to immediately increase your spending. Give yourself some time, perhaps 3 to 6 months, before making any major lifestyle changes. This waiting period can help you make more intentional decisions rather than reacting emotionally to having more money. It can also be helpful to separate your lifestyle from your income. Instead of thinking about what you can afford based on your current salary, try to base your spending decisions on your long-term financial goals. Ask yourself whether a particular purchase or expense will help or hinder your progress toward those goals. Another useful strategy is to automate your savings. When you receive a raise or increase in income, immediately increase the amount that goes into your savings or investment accounts. By automating this process, you reduce the temptation to spend the extra money and make it easier to maintain a higher savings rate over time. It's also important to be mindful of lifestyle creep in your daily decisions. Before making a purchase or committing to a new recurring expense, ask yourself whether this is something you truly want or if it's something you're considering mainly because you now feel like you can afford it. Being intentional about these smaller decisions can help prevent gradual lifestyle inflation. Another powerful approach is to periodically review your expenses and ask yourself whether each one is still aligned with your values and goals. Just because you started spending money on something when your income was higher doesn't mean you need to continue doing so. Regularly reviewing your spending can help you identify areas where you might be able to cut back without sacrificing much happiness. Let's look at some real-life examples to see how lifestyle inflation can affect people and how they've dealt with it. David is a 34-year-old marketing manager. 5 years ago, he was earning $55 per year. At that time, he was living in a modest apartment, driving an older car, and cooking most of his meals at home. Over the past 5 years, he received several promotions and raises, and now earns $95 per year. However, his lifestyle has also changed significantly. He now lives in a much nicer apartment, leases a newer car, eats out frequently, and has several expensive subscriptions. Despite earning $40 more per year, he has very little savings and still feels financially stressed. This is a classic example of lifestyle inflation. On the other hand, Jennifer is a 36-year-old software engineer. When she started earning more money, she made a conscious decision to limit how much her lifestyle would expand. She continued living in the same apartment for several years after her income increased, kept driving her older car, and was careful about adding new recurring expenses. As a result, she was able to save and invest a large portion of her increased income. Today, she has a substantial investment portfolio and much more financial freedom than many of her peers who earn similar salaries but have higher expenses. These examples show that how you handle increases in income can have a major impact on your long-term financial situation. Two people with similar incomes can end up in very different financial positions depending on whether they allow their lifestyle to expand along with their earnings. Of course, Avoiding lifestyle inflation doesn't mean you can never improve your quality of life as your income grows. It's perfectly reasonable to upgrade certain aspects of your life when you earn more. The key is to do so intentionally and in moderation, rather than letting your spending increase automatically. It's also important to recognize that completely avoiding any lifestyle improvement can sometimes backfire. If you never allow yourself to enjoy any of the benefits of earning more money, you might eventually feel resentful or burned out. Finding a healthy balance between enjoying your income and still making progress toward your financial goals is usually the most sustainable approach. Before we wrap up, let me share some common mistakes people make when trying to avoid lifestyle inflation. The first mistake is thinking that lifestyle inflation only happens to people who earn very high incomes. In reality, lifestyle inflation can affect anyone whose income increases, even if the increase is relatively modest. The important factor is not how much you earn, but how your spending changes in response to that increase. The second mistake is trying to completely prevent any lifestyle improvement. While it's wise to be cautious about increasing your expenses, completely denying yourself any improvements can be difficult to maintain long-term. It's usually better to allow some gradual improvements while being intentional about keeping your overall spending growth lower than your income growth. The third mistake is not tracking your expenses as your income changes. Many people don't realize how much their spending has increased until they look back at their past spending habits. Regularly reviewing your expenses can help you stay aware of whether lifestyle inflation is happening. The fourth mistake is comparing your lifestyle to other people's. It's easy to look at what others are buying or doing and feel pressure to keep up. But everyone has different financial goals and circumstances. Focusing on your own progress rather than comparing yourself to others can help you make decisions that are right for your situation. Alright. Let's do a quick summary of what we covered in this video. We talked about what lifestyle inflation is and why it can prevent people from building wealth even as their income increases. We discussed the reasons why lifestyle inflation happens and how to recognize the signs in your own life. We explored practical strategies to avoid falling into this trap, including being intentional about how you use increases in income and regularly reviewing your expenses. We also looked at real-life examples and common mistakes to avoid. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to build long-term wealth. When you're able to increase your income without letting your spending grow at the same rate, you create the opportunity to save and invest more of your money, which can significantly improve your financial future over time. If this video was helpful for you, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm creating this personal money management series to help you improve your financial habits with practical and realistic advice. There are more videos coming, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to continue learning. Also, let me know in the comments if you've noticed lifestyle inflation in your own life or if you have strategies that have helped you avoid it. I love hearing your experiences and perspectives. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope this video gave you some useful insights into how to manage your money as your income grows. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.